The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
Off the heels of their most impressive game of the season 5 days ago, the Texas State Bobcats get back to work tonight as they take on the reigning Sun Belt champion Georgia Southern Eagles in Statesboro, Georgia.
1, 2, 3, Bobcats!
Motion for the tight end Dean. Takes a snap, handoff Breida, behind left guard, explodes to the 25-20, 15-10. He'll walk into the end zone for the touchdown. Ball at the right hash of the Texas State 27. Ellison to throw, now to run, runs right. Ellison will fumble the ball, and the Bobcats have it at their own 30, picked up by Aaron Shaw. Or play fake, has protection. Jones fires far side and caught on a strike to gains at the Eagle 42. Back-to-back first downs, Texas State. The snap from Lange, set down to fake. Rhodes looking to throw, throws it to Kaba and throw it low. Incomplete. The Eagles did not bite on that, and the Bobcats turn it over on downs.
We thought it was a good call. We thought it would work. The guy made a good job of peeling on Lumi and taking it away, and even then when Jack got up and ran, I think if he'd made a good throw, he still might have had it. So, came to win and just didn't work out.
Snap to Upshaw, handoff Breida, up the middle, first down and more. At the 30, 20, he has done it again. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. 47 yards for Matt Breida, his second tonight. Jones out of the pistol, trips right, nobody short side left. Eagles showing a blitz. They're going to rush 3. It's a draw to Lowe. Running left, 25, 30, 35. Down the sideline, Robert Lowe powers his way to the Bobcat 45 on a gallop of 21 yards and a first down. 2 receivers either way for Jones. Takes a snap, handoff Lowe, running left. Lowe looking for an alley. Midfield, 45, out of bounds. At the Eagle 36-yard line, Robert Lowe, they'll give him more to the 32. Another big gas there for Lowe and a Bobcat first down. Snap from Lange, set down by Rhodes. Kick is up, in over, in kick by Kaba, and it splits the pipes, and the Cats are on the board. Breida offset to his left. Bobcat showing a blitz, takes a snap. Option pitch comes to Breida. Fumble the ball at the 5-yard line, and the Bobcats have it. They'll mark it at the 7 on the bad pitch by Ellison, and the Bobcats have their second turnover tonight. Kaba on to attempt a 27-yard field goal. Lange to snap to Rhodes. Snap, set down, kick up by Kaba, end over, in kick, and he drilled it and makes it a 1-possession game. 3rd and goal from the 4. Motion from Keaton. Here's an option play. Ellison to throw, being pressured, and Ellison is sacked, and the ball came out. The ball came out of the 12-yard line. The Bobcats have it again.
We should have put up more points. That's on us. That's on the offense, and when we get the ball, that's a gift. A turnover, and we got 3 of them, so that's unacceptable. We got to do better.
Well, defenses play well. We got to play better on offense in the red zone, and we got to cover kickoffs better. That's the 2 things we haven't done very well. I'm proud of the way the defense hung in there, and that was a big stop at the end of the half.
2nd down 7, Bobcat 38. Handoff up the middle, bouncing left, spinning out of a tackle. Fields at the 30 with a block of the 20, 15, 10 to the end zone for the touchdown. Jones out of the gun, corners are playing off. Play fake for Jones, 4-man rush Eagles. Tyler with time, throws near side, open man Smith at the 25 and goes out of bounds. I'm going to say the 26, another near late hit, this time against Caleb Williams. The Bobcats will settle for the first down. 3rd down and 6 at the Eagle 23. Trips left for Jones, takes a snap, rolls left. Jones looking, throws for the end zone, high throw, and it is caught for the touchdown. Back left corner by Jafus Gaines. A flag is in. It'll be PI and the Eagles, and the Cats have their first touchdown of the game. There's a snap from Lange, a swing of the right leg by Kaba. High wobbly punt. Keaton will make the catch to the 28 to return right to the 30. Lange the deep snapper in pursuit. Keaton reverses field, running left 35, looking for an alley 40, 45 midfield, down the sideline. Keaton at the 30, 20, cutting right to the 15 and down to the 12-yard line. No flags. Snap, set down, kick is up by Koo, and the kick is good. With 14:55 to go in the game, the Bobcats trail 27-13. Takes a snap, handoff, Fields running left, looking for room, 35, outside 40, down the far side. Bobcat 40, 30, one man to beat, 15, and down to the 7-yard line, Wesley Fields. And here's a handoff running up the right side. Ramsey bounces left, and Ramsey's got blockers now and will walk into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Eagles have likely put this game out of the Bobcats' reach, 33-13. 3 receivers for Jones, a draw to Lowe up the middle, bounces right. Lowe looking for a room at the 30, 35 and a first down. Up to the 36, so when all else fails, give the ball to Robert Lowe. Lowe in the backfield. Eagles rush 4, Jones to throw, surveys the defense, steps up, can run, 40, 45, dives down head first to midfield. Goes Tyler Jones in a scramble of 14 yards. 10 minutes to go, fourth quarter, Bobcats down 34-13. Snap to Jones, option, now rears back to throw. Jones steps up, heaves it deep, far side. The pass is intercepted, underthrown for Mercer, picked off by Antonio Glover at the Eagle 4-yard line for the Bobcats' first turnover tonight.
We fought hard and played a good team at their place for the short week, and we get to go home and play 3 home games, so we got to make the best of that. They're a good red zone defensive team, and we didn't do what we needed to do to get points when we were down there.
I think they did make some adjustments. They got a good coaching staff over there. They're a good defense off top, so I think they made adjustments, and we didn't adjust to it, or we didn't know the adjustments that they made. We couldn't identify it, and it is what it is.
The Georgia Southern Eagles, physical, dominant from start to finish, as they have a 37-13 win over Texas State tonight here at Paulson Stadium. SWBC Mortgage. Pre-qualify for your new home today. Find a branch near you at score.swbcmortgage.com.
My family has been growing crops here since the late 1800s.
We're Texas farmers through and through, and that's why we love HEB. They've been supporting local farms like ours for generations.
They buy more of our corn than anyone else in Texas.
Over 10 million pounds annually, and they use it to make great products like HEB corn chips.
So when you try them, you're eating a little piece of Texas.
We're the Sawdoff family, and this is the locally grown department at HEB. No store does more than my HEB.
At Texas State University, more than 36,000 Bobcats from all 50 states and 61 nations enjoy a beautiful hill country campus in the Austin metropolitan area. We offer nearly 200 degrees with retention and graduation rates among the best in the state. Our faculty are world-class researchers in diverse fields, and at our newly expanded Star Park, we're developing the future of nanotechnology. One atom at a time. Texas State University, the rising star of Texas.
The Sun Belt's not an easy conference, so it's really fun to play in.
Everything's a step up. Competition, the speed of the game.
Just to get the opportunity to play the game I love, get my degree. Great teams, great players, outstanding coaches. And
so you have to play your A game every night.
Knowing that every time we go out there and play somebody, it's not going to be an easy game. You're going to get their best game every time.
You never know what results you're going to get.
There's never a definite winner. I think everyone has a possibility to win.
I wouldn't want to be part of any other conference.
Check out HEB's Tailgate of the Week. These awesome tailgaters decked out their campsite with HEB products in a creative way. If you want to be next week's HEB's winner, check out heb.com/tailgate. No store does more than HEB.
The hard thing is to get ready for Georgia Southern in 4 days.
or you get ready for a wishbone in an abbreviated schedule, short amount of time. That's much harder than getting ready to play New Mexico State or South Alabama in a normal week of preparation. Because the things they do are more things that you see on a week in, week out basis, the one back set and things like that. That I don't think that's as much of problem or situation to deal with this week as much as it was last week, certainly, because you're basically playing the wishbone. And we gave up. You can't do this, so it's foolish to say, but we had about 6 or 7 big plays, and if we could have fit on those and minimized those, and sometimes we just defended that play and then they ran it again and we didn't defend it as well. And we defended the triple option really well last week, but we didn't defend the power play very well. We didn't get underneath the block. We didn't fit the cutback very well. And had we have done that, the yardage would have been a lot less. We would have been a lot better defensive performance. We got 3 turnovers. Our biggest problem, really, we had the ball 3 times inside the 30 in the first half and didn't get much to show for it. We faked a field goal and then we got 2 field goals out of it. And we needed to get a touchdown when we had those opportunities. And, I thought 2 guys were going to faint when we got the turnover on the 6-yard line. I had to kind of revive them over there. We hadn't had one like that all season long, so that was nice. But we didn't cash in. We didn't get much out of it. And, lack of execution, lack of blocking, and probably poor play calls on our part, looking back. We've had to replace a couple guys in the offensive line. That's, I think, affected all of that just a little bit. We've played some good defenses. We've had to play from behind. All of those things have impacted that, and getting him back on course is not just a fact of him. It's a fact of everybody, and his problem there for a week or 2 was probably as much that he wanted to do too much. And so, I've often said you're a lot better as a quarterback when you can go back and hand it to that tailback and have 2nd and 4 than 2nd and 9. And, we need more of those things to happen, which I'm talking about the whole unit executing to help Tyler. It's not all on him. But sometimes as the quarterback, it looks that way more than it needed to be. I mean, I was very, our protection at times was suspect the other night. He can't do much about that. We didn't move the ball very well, but it wasn't all Tyler. It was our whole offensive unit that didn't move the ball well. So he's like me. He gets too much credit and too much blame.
At Pizza Hut, we've got a carry-out deal just for you. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any topping for just $10. You want a large hand-tossed pepperoni and mushroom? $10. Or maybe you're a large pan supreme kind of person. $10. Thinking about a combination of your own? Well, that's $10 too. That's any pizza, any size, any crust, and any topping for just $10. And get stuffed crust for just $2 more. This $10 carry-out deal ends soon, so hurry to Pizza Hut today.
you show your Bobcat pride. Now you can show it off and keep your money here at Texas State, because whenever you buy at the University Bookstore at Texas State, that money stays here on campus. Apparel, books, gifts, and much more. Online or in the heart of Bobcat country, find it, get it, and keep it on campus. University Bookstore at Texas State, your bookstore.
All right, it's good to have a normal week to work on. New Mexico State is got a big win Saturday night. I got to watch it all on television. They were down 30-7 at one time and came back and won the game. That was a heck of a job. Really, when you look at their schedule, they could probably be 4-4. They lost a overtime game to UTEP. They lost a close game to Georgia State, and they really had a chance to beat New Mexico at New Mexico. And I've seen, Coach Martin's done a good job. I think he's talked a lot about them learning how to win, and they're still a pretty young football team. They played us really tough last year. They had a lot of offense. We had trouble getting them slowed down. Terrence Franks had a big punt block for us in that game, if you remember, and we moved the ball pretty well and did some good things. But they managed to hold on and win by 8 points, so that was good. This group is feeling pretty good, and that was a good win for them. They're pretty excited about it and should be. They got a good tailback in Larry Rose. He's already over 1,000 yards for the year. He's good, tough to stop. He gets his yardage week in and week out. He got about 200 last week. He'll go for 3 or 4, and then he'll break a couple. And they keep feeding it to him pretty good. They've had their injuries at quarterback, and they seem to be replacing guys, and they seem to be stepping in and doing a good job. The young man that played most of the game last week, I think his name's Allen, played well. So they've got a good balance to their offense in rushing and passing, which makes them a little harder to defend, I think. Defensively, they're giving up some yards, so we need to execute better on our side of the ball. We need to block better on our side of the ball. We need to get into a little bit better offensive rhythm on our side of the ball, and find a way to defend Larry Rose as best we can and kind of fit to their passing game and the things they do in that. We didn't do a very good job last year. We held them to 28, which was good enough to win the game, but really they moved the ball pretty well on us.
Well, the numbers say that this next half of the season, or 5 games or whatever, is supposedly easier, but it's not. These teams are much improved from last year, and they're better than their record shows. So we're going to prepare just like we've been doing all year and take it just like every other game.
Our defense has had its struggles. I mean, you just have to call it like it is. And we played a pretty solid game against South Alabama. We held them to 18, but we still gave up quite a few rushing yards. At the end of the day, we had twice as many points, and that was the thing that mattered. And we've had our struggles in that area of the game, and this week we'll challenge us good on that, because they do a good job with the run-pass option things and the bubbles and things like that. If you overload the box out on the perimeter, and they hurt us with that last year, so this will be a good challenge. Their offensive line does a nice job with what they do offensively, and Doug is a good offensive coach and a patient one to stay with some of the things he did even when they were behind 30-7 the other night. Let me just put this in perspective for you. Last year, we beat them 37-29, and they had the ball driving at the end of the game for the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Terrence Franks blocked a punt picked it up and scored, made a big play in that game that really threw it a little bit more in our favor. Defense, you need to remember this. They had 639 yards of offense. 639. 235 rushing, 404 passing. They're better this year than they were last year on offense. Offense, you had 400 yards. But you made the best of it. It's homecoming. It's our house. Let's have a good week.
SWBC is with you to help plan for life's little adventures. We're here so you have one less thing to worry about. We can help turn a dream into a reality. And we let you focus on your business, not on business paperwork. Wherever you are in life, we're with you.
Let's eat.
Like B-I-double-G-I-E with some new R-U-L-E.
Easy. Y'all got to quit stealing my CDs out of my car. I'm jumping you right into the middle of the mix now, okay? So, I mean, I want you to get going. Because you're going to play, okay? You're playing real hard, okay? I need you to be more productive without trying to do too much, okay? Now, I'm going to roll Steve in, okay? You haven't done anything wrong, so I need more productivity. Okay? Good. Be patient. Hey, that's the number one option. They don't want this guy running with the football.
Here we go.
Judge a flag of that ball. Right there. Hold up. Don't let him. You're fine. Get back here. Now go. Come on. Don't worry about that. Now go. You want to get that, try to get that 10 to 15 yards. Double, come here. He kicks it that shallow, you don't need to drop. Yeah, you can even go forward. Make sure you're making that go call, Trey. Make sure you're making that go call. Punch it out, pull it out. Punch it out, pull it out. Everything's got to be fast, no air. Come on with it now. Come on, down in there. You got to get to where you can make the trip. You got to make the trip. There he goes. Good. No air, no gaps. Good. Take those inside gaps away. Good.
Right here.
Go. Underneath. There you go. That's the way to eat. Set. Go. Yep, you didn't get up underneath them, did you? You didn't get there. Go. Boom. Boom. Vertical. Vertical. Go. Right there. Vertical. Fight for it. Fight for your gap. Ready? Go. Boom. Boom.
to show your love and follow the Bobcats on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and their YouTube channel.
The independent agents of Texas Farm Bureau Insurance want to put you in the middle of the action during an upcoming Texas State football home game. Go online to bobcatscontest.com and register to win an ultimate fan experience. That includes 2 reserve tickets to the game, sideline access, pre-game hospitality passes, and official game day t-shirts for you and a guest. Don't miss this opportunity to be up close to the action, courtesy of official proud partner Texas State Farm Bureau Insurance. Register now at bobcatscontest.com.
Welcome back to All in Texas State Football. This Saturday, the Bobcats open up a 3-game homestand against New Mexico State. And here to talk to us more about the Aggies is Jack Nixon from the Aggies Sports Network. Jack, thanks for joining us. The Aggies coming off a come-from-behind overtime win over Idaho this past Saturday after a tough start of the season for New Mexico State. Just how satisfying was the win this past weekend against the Vandals?
It was a very satisfying win. It was very exciting. The Aggies were behind by 23. It went to overtime, and they stopped the Idaho drive. The fellow intercepted the pass, and he caught it between his knees, which is not usually how they go about that. But anyway, the Aggies were very happy to take it, and very concerned, of course, because Texas State presents a very stiff challenge coming up there in San Marcos.
The Sun Belt Conference has its share of star running backs. You look at a player like Matt Breida at Georgia Southern, Elijah McGuire at UL Lafayette, Robert Lowe right here at Texas State. Well, we know that Larry Rose for the Aggies certainly belongs in that conversation. Over 1,000 yards rushing already this season, 10 touchdowns. Just how impressed have you been by his play so far?
He is, you can't knock him off his feet. He's got tremendous balance. You got to get him because he'll slip away. I tell you, if he gets into the open, he's gone. He has tremendous breakaway speed. And he's a quality kid. The Aggies were the only ones that offered him in D1 that offered him a scholarship, and he has kind of a chip on his shoulder over that. So he goes out and plays angry, and he psychs himself up by saying, "Hey, I want to beat these guys because they didn't offer me a scholarship." So he's got that attitude going, and he's the biggest plus of the Aggies' offense this year.
The Aggies defensively have had a tough time this year, giving up close to 50 points per game, but they forced 14 turnovers. That's good for 4th in the Sun Belt. What more can you tell us about the Aggies on that side of the ball?
Well, it's been tough. Their defense has been, I think, at the bottom of the D1 statistics, I think, for 4 years in a row. And that's, I'm not pointing with pride to that, but it's just the fact. The Aggies defense, they just have to keep, I think Coach Martin took a little more interest in it last week, and just, they've cut down the rotation. And so they think that will help, here in the final 4 games of the year.
Well, the Bobcats and Aggies played at a close game a year ago in Las Cruces, won by Texas State. How well do you feel like the Aggies match up against the Bobcats this time around?
Well, I think, Texas State's defense is a little vulnerable. This is predominantly an offensive league, I think. And so I think the Aggies have a real chance if they can stop Texas. That's a big if they can stop Texas State. I like their chances a lot, but Texas State Coach Franchione, Aggies have seen him for a long time. He was at UNM for a while. Very familiar with him. Outstanding coach, did a great job of preparation and so forth. And I don't know. I think the Aggies physically are probably right there with them, but it's going to come down to NMSU matching Texas State. When Texas State gets the touchdown, the Aggies have to match it. If Texas State gets a field goal, the Aggies have to get a touchdown. The Aggies can do that. They can stay with just about anyone.
Thanks, Jack. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
And that's a wrap for this week's episode of All in Texas State Football. I'm Brant Freeman, reminding you to unleash your battle cry, and we'll see you next time.